On the island of Sodor, you're always in good company. Everywhere you look, you'll find towns filled with friendly and welcoming people. But there is one person no one can get along with, and that was Jack Jones. Jack was a guard who had worked well into his old age and should have retired years ago. He was rude to everyone he met and would always find something to complain about. He would often leave the brakes on in his van without realising, causing the trains to be late, and then blaming it on the engines.
Lazy good-for-nothings,
He would grumble.
you don't know the meaning of hard work.
He soon found his way onto the Little Western with Duck and Oliver, and they too found him insufferable. He complained bitterly about the line, calling it
The Little Wasteland.
and other such demeaning names. Toad found him especially hard to work with. We've been late every day for the past week, and it doesn't seem to bother him. Jack wasn't the only new arrival on the line, however. One day, Duck noticed some passengers crowded round a cage. Inside was a brightly coloured bird. "This is Cocky," said the station master. "He's a parrot, a special kind of bird that can repeat sounds." "You mean he can talk?" said Duck in disbelief. "He can indeed. When he finds his voice, that is." Duck grew very excited. Whenever he and Oliver next saw Cocky, they would call out things for him to say. But he never even squawked. Even the trucks tried shouting things at him. But thankfully, he never repeated any of the rude things they had to say. Eventually the engines gave up and decided to focus on their work, which Jack was making a misery.
Late again?
He shouted to Oliver.
I'll be reporting this. Lazy good-for-nothing.
Oliver was most annoyed. "Ignore him," said his driver. "Just focus on your work." The porters were loading a large crate into Toad's cabin.
Put your backs into it,
grumbled Jack. Soon Oliver's mail vans were loaded, and they heard a guard's whistle. The fireman looked back and saw no one on the platform. He must already be in. "Right away," and Oliver quickly sped off. When they arrived at the big station, the workmen quickly unloaded the mail vans. The driver then noticed that Jack was nowhere to be seen. Then they heard a loud thumping noise coming from Toad's cabin. "We'd better take a look," said the fireman. They found the noise coming from the large crate. They unlatched the lid, and to their surprise, there was Jack, red in the face and very cross. "Well, would you look at that?" laughed the fireman. "It's a Jack in the box!" Everyone laughed, except Jack, who had now turned a shade of green, and an ambulance had to be called to take him to hospital. "Poor fellow," said the driver. "He must have been inspecting the crate and fell in when we set off." "But I heard his whistle," said Oliver. "Me too," said the fireman. Then he started laughing again. "I think I might know," he chuckled, and they headed back to the station. They soon got their answer. Cocky had finally found his voice and had learned to copy the sound of the guard's whistle. "He's certainly chatty now," said the station master. "But he can't stay here. He caused too much trouble." "But where will he go?" asked the engines. The answer came sooner than expected. After his incident, Jack finally decided to retire and became a much friendlier face around the area. Cocky was given to him as a leaving present, and the pair happily watched the trains go by, without so much as a squawk.